Did you know my first and for a long time most popular video on YouTube was about an MJX product? A review of the MJX X600 hexacopter more specifically. Let's rewind time and have a quick look. Hello. You know, on second thought, let's not. Of course, I only showed you that to demonstrate how far I've come since, from total amateur to total professional. I kid, but I do have a history of reviewing MJX products here on this channel. True to tradition, I think it's time we have a look at the company's latest offering, the MJX X902 Spider. Does it further MJX's, I think, pretty solid reputation, or is it rather a dent in it? Welcome to this review and flight test of the X902 nano quadcopter from MJX. Since I don't think the X902, however competent in all regards, does anything unique enough to warrant a long-winded review, let's try to focus on the ways it differs from what you normally expect from a nano toy multirotor. In terms of look, the X902 follows the black minimalist design language MJX established with the X600 through 900 hexacopters. Also much in line with MJX previous models, it feels, if not premium, at least not cheap. I get the impression some serious care has gone into this product, both designing it and manufacturing it. The obvious hook here is of course the upside-down motors. This is kinda novel, though yes I know it's been done before, and looks cool, but from what I've been able to gather doesn't change, let alone improve flight characteristics in any significant way. In fact, I can even see some drawbacks. The prop guards, for example, now also act as landing feet and are therefore essential for flying it. More significant changes with regards to function can be found in the battery. For one thing, it's removable, which allows you to keep extras and potentially even share packs between this and other models. For another, the included battery has a capacity of 180 mAh, as opposed to the 80 to 120 mAh typical for nano multirotors, which should, at least theoretically, provide for longer flight times. For nanos, where payload is absolutely critical, I've gotten the impression that increasing battery capacity generally is a zero-sum game, as the added weight of the battery also requires more throttle. In this particular case, the flight time is around 6 minutes, which may be in the higher end of the spectrum, but certainly nothing to drop your jaw about. One annoying detail is that MJX has oversized the battery slot a little, and trying to compensate for this attached a piece of plastic foam to the battery. This makes it very tricky to insert the battery as the foam has a tendency to snag. Either put up with this or remove the foam, but then the battery gets prone to sliding out instead. Wonder if MJX was planning to ship the X902 with a bigger battery at one point. The transmitter, which I think is new for this product, looks kawaii, just super cute and adorable. Trying to see past that though, it's well-built transmitter that ultimately struggles with the same issue most nano transmitters do, being too small to hold properly. The big mystery about it is this button here in the middle. The user manual acknowledges it but doesn't assign any function to it, but when you press it, the LED on the transmitter switches color. Was MJX planning an inverted flyer at one point? The MJX X902 comes with everything you come to expect from nano multirotors. A set of spare propellers, your typical USB charging cable capable of charging the included battery in 30 minutes, an above average instruction manual solely in English, and a nice box which protects the quadcopter if you want to take it with you. In short, the MJX X902 flies well. Despite being a quadcopter, it maintains most if not all of the signature stability of its hexacopter siblings. There is smoothness to how it handles and what at least feels like fine-grained response to stick inputs. That being said, also much like MJX's other multirotors, the X902 isn't exactly the craziest of aircrafts. The included transmitter offers two rates, high and low, between which I don't notice a whole lot of difference, except for the yaw. This is significantly faster on the high rate, which in my opinion makes it the better rounded of the two. If you happen to own any previous MJX models, I'm happy to inform you that the X902 uses the same protocol, and so can bind to all of those transmitters. I personally prefer the dual shock style one, which I believe was included with the X800 and early X900 variants. Flying it with this transmitter is a real joy, although from what I can tell nothing about the rates changes. Otherwise, it's pretty much nano multirotor business as usual with the X902 in terms of flight characteristics. I did hear comments about range issues beforehand, but I've tested specifically for this and it is nothing I can remark on as mine flies pretty much as far as the eye can see it, regardless of transmitter. In conclusion, the MJX X902 is a perfectly fine nano quadcopter, whose greatest shortcoming is perhaps its failure to bring something fresh to the table. as I think you'll agree, the market is already chock full of perfectly fine nanos, and unfortunately, a novel design and removable battery just isn't enough to justify a purchase for the people who already own one of these. If however the X902 for whatever reason happens to tickle your fancy, rest assured it's a solid alternative and by all means a good deal, just don't feel like it's something you have to get even though you already own a nano quadcopter. As usual, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you leave any ideas about how you can enjoy future videos even more in the comment section below. Also feel free to leave me tips of new and exciting multirotors you would like me to check out. Speaking of future videos, if you want to be kept informed, consider subscribing. Alright, see you soon in another review. Bye!